What is going on? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dwayne and this is the 411. In today's video, I do have a treat for you guys. I have my top 10 winter cologne fragrances. And before we jump into the list, let me just go ahead and do a quick explanation for those of you that are new to the fragrance community. So a cologne fragrance is going to be a fragrance that copies or is an interpretation of a more higher end designer, even niche fragrance. Okay, so they take the same kind of formulation, they have the same type of fragrance notes, breakdowns, and things like that, and they kind of copy a more higher end, a more expensive fragrance. All right, when we talk about winter fragrances, these are going to be fragrances that are a little bit more darker, dense, sweet. They do well when it comes to cutting through that dry, cold winter weather. So that's what we call those winter fragrances. All right, with that out of the way, let's jump right into the list. All right, so number 10 on my list of top 10 winter cologne fragrance will be Ameer Al Oud Intense Oud. This is by the house of Lattafa, and this is a inspiration of Maison Margiela's By the Fireplace. Now, By the Fireplace is to me, like a niche-like fragrance. It is dark, it's woody, it's smoky, and this one captures just that. The woody notes in here mixed with the creamy vanillas, but also the oud makes it a little bit more smoky, a little bit more dark and richer. Perfect for the cold weather, but also you get like a sweet marshmallow type of vibe in here. Definitely unisex, but I do see more men wearing this fragrance. But I'm gonna say it's one of those fragrances you need to sample before you buy because the quality is great for the price. This costs roughly about $20 to $25. And for By the Fireplace, you're looking at roughly about $220 Canadian. So as far as price point, you're getting a inspiration of By the Fireplace with a little bit more oud, a little bit more personality behind it. This one is a room filler and one that you're going to enjoy if you're into woody, smoky, sweet fragrances. So number 10 on the list, Ameer Al Oud Intense Oud. Number 9 on the list is going to be by the house of Reyane, and that's Insurrection Wild 2. All right, as you can see, I used a lot of this juice. This one is a copy of Thierry Mugler's Pure Havane. And this stuff smells great. This is a more masculine-centric fragrance. You get a nice mix of tobacco and honey in this one, almost like a pipe cherry tobacco type of vibe. Masculine, it's definitely refined, one that's going to get you noticed. If you're into tobacco honey fragrances, definitely check this one out. You're not going to be disappointed. Price point for this one is good as well, especially because Pure Havane, can't find that anywhere. If you do find it, you're going to pay an arm and a leg for it. So check this one out instead. It is Insurrection 2 by the house of Reyane. Number 8 on the list took me some time to get used to. This is by the house of Maison Alhambra, and it's called Perseus Exclusive. This one is a Parfums de Marly Pegasus Exclusive clone. PDM is a very well-known niche house. Their fragrances cost a ton of money, probably about 300 Canadian for a bottle. This you get for a fraction of the price. And it puts you in that realm of Pegasus Exclusive. Now this one you get the same Pegasus DNA, the creamy vanillas. However, you get the almond that's kind of amped up in this, but also you get some darker facets to it. It's almost like leather, kind of suede in this, even a bit more woody and like a slight touch of oud. It does add a darker, smokier facet to your typical Pegasus DNA. And even though I love Pegasus, I gotta say this is a more masculine take on the Pegasus DNA. Pegasus could go either male or female. It is a unisex fragrance. This one's definitely a masculine fragrance. So if you're in the office, if you're wearing something very nice, suit and tie affair, this one would be great. You would smell great in the winter time, especially because this one does project and it does have a pretty good performance as far as longevity and projection. So number 8 on the list is going to be Perseus Exclusive by Maison Alhambra. Number 7 on my list is another strong masculine fragrance. This one is Starman Nebula by Fragrance World. Now this one is a clone or copy or inspiration of Thierry Mugler's Pure Malt, which is also now discontinued. So that's 2 Thierry Mugler fragrances that have been discontinued that's on this list. So if you're looking for a replacement for those, I'm giving you guys some really good options, okay? Now all around, this one gives you a nice boozy vibe. the peat and the rye and the whiskey in this one, mixed with the patchouli and the cedar. Again, very nicely well done. Now, even though this one's very boozy and I would say kind of loud as well, I do believe there's some orange blossom in here mixed with that cedar. So you're getting that push off that boozy, sweet, cedar woody type of flavor profile, type of scent profile, and it smells amazing. They said that there's coffee in here, which I don't get much coffee, but overall, it's a well-balanced, classy, sophisticated fragrance. One that's gonna get you noticed and stand out because there's not a lot of people walking around smelling like this. And I'm gonna say this one will garner you compliments when worn in the right situation, okay? Number 7 on the list, again, is gonna be Starman Nebula by Fragrance World. Number 6 on the list is for the sophisticated, refined gentleman. Number 6 is Crafted Oud by Maison Alhambra. Now, this one is very regal, all right? To me, carved oud is what this is a inspiration of, but also when you think about Tom Ford's oud wood, you get the same type of scent profile with those two fragrances. So this is an encapsulation of both, to me, carved oud and also Tom Ford's oud wood. I'm gonna say this fragrance is more for the grown, mature gentleman. It's not gonna be for those that are 30 and under, I'm gonna say. Definitely dressed up, suit and tie. This is a good fragrance to wear. You get the smooth oud in this one. You get the woody notes as well. You also get patchouli, there's cypress, a lot of different things mixed in here, but it's nicely blended. And this is one that I only wear when I'm dressed up and I'm sophisticated, blazer, tie. Other than that, you cannot really dress this one down. Again, a more regal, elegant type of fragrance, okay? So if you don't have anything in your collection that is grown, mature, and sexy, definitely check this one out. It is Crafted Oud by Maison Alhambra, number 6 on the list. Number 5 on my list is another grown and sexy fragrance. This one is copied another Tom Ford fragrance. This one is called Just Jack Noir Endurance, and it is copying or cloning Tom Ford Noir Extreme. Now, right off the top, guys, you do get that sweet coffee note that Tom Ford Noir Extreme is known for. You do get the spicy cardamom. You do get that vanillic undertone. This is one that will be great for date night, especially in an intimate setting. This one doesn't project or perform like a beast, but it is very close to your skin. It's very warm, very inviting. And once your partner gets a whiff of this, they're gonna come in closer. That coffee note mixed with the other vanillic amber notes in this one, again, it's very different. Even though it is a very cheap fragrance as far as the price point, the quality of juice in here is really high. Again, 1-to-1 in my opinion, the Tom Ford Noir Extreme, okay? If you get a chance, check it out, Just Jack Noir Endurance, number 5 on the list. Now, before we go any further, I wanna say this list is in no particular order because this one is one of my favorites, all right? Number 4 on the list is gonna be Lattafa Khamrah. This is the most hyped fragrance in the fragrance community. As far as gourmand fragrances go, you can't get anything much better than this one, all right? This is a copy or inspiration of by Kilian's Angel Share, which I do have. That one's a little bit boozier, but this one comes very close as far as the fragrance profile, okay? Man, that is good. That is amazing. Let's get one more sniff. That is really good. By the way, guys, I haven't sprayed really any of these fragrances because they are very heavy. These winter fragrances, like I mentioned, they're heavy, they're denser. So when I spray them in the air, if I go to smell something else, I'm gonna have a hard time deciphering what I'm smelling. So I haven't sprayed any of these in the air, but off the atomizer, you could definitely smell these fragrances for sure. Lattafa Khamrah, what can I say? Dates, praline, vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, all the things you need for a sexy date night gourmand fragrance, all right? Guys, this one will get you noticed. It is unisex, so ladies, gentlemen, you both could wear this. But guys, if you want to turn some heads, ladies do like the sweeter notes on men, especially in the winter time, guys. Date night, this is gonna definitely help you get the job done. Of course, she has to like you. She has to be attracted to you. You have to be clean, well-groomed, dressed nice. But again, this will definitely seal the deal, all right? Lattafa Khamrah, number 4 on my list. Guys, the price for this was very high back in the day. I'm gonna say about a year or 2 years ago. It was fetching about $60, but now $30, you can get yourself a bottle of this, 100 ml. Get it now, blind buy safe, thank me later, all right? Number 4 on the list, Lattafa Khamrah. Now guys, number 3 on the list is a fragrance I never draw for unless the temperature is below 0, all right? This one is by the House of Maison Alhambra again, and it's called Tobacco Touch. This is a clone or inspiration of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, and I gotta say, I smell tobacco vanille a lot of times. This is definitely tobacco vanille in a different bottle by a different company. What do you get with this one? Guys, this one smells amazing. So the thing I like about this one is it's a masculine fragrance in my eyes, but I can still see some women pulling this off. You get that dry tobacco leaf with some cinnamon sprinkled on top. That is kind of covered in some vanilla. It is delicious. It's delicious. I think when your partner smells this on you, it's gonna smell different. Not a lot of people have this type of tobacco scent in their collection. So again, dry tobacco mixed with cinnamon, mixed with a little bit of nutmeg with some vanilla. That is delicious. If you can imagine that, you kind of understand what this is gonna smell like. You can sample this at most of the high-end department stores, but again, if you want to just get yourself a bottle, this is pretty cheap as far as the price point is concerned. Again, I think this was fetching high 40s at one point, but now $20+. You can get your hand on Tobacco Touch. Again, Maison Alhambra's Tobacco Touch is Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. Those two smell exactly the same. Good projection and performance with this one. As far as your sillage longevity, I'm gonna say 5 to 10 sprays on your body and on your clothes. You're gonna be good for the rest of the night, all right? So try this one out for sure. Tobacco Touch by Maison Alhambra. All right, guys, we're in the top 2. Thank you for hanging out with me for this long. Number 2 on my list is gonna be another hyped fragrance. This one is Liquid Brun by French Avenue. All right, now this one is a inspiration of Parfums de Marly Altair, another PDM niche fragrance. This one does Altair immaculately. They smell exactly the same. And surprisingly to me, when I had Khamrah and I saw the note breakdown for Khamrah and the note breakdown for this, I thought they'd be pretty similar, but no, this one actually, in my opinion, is a little bit better than Khamrah because it does have a more masculine vibe to it. You get the cinnamon, you get the spicy cardamom, you get the pralines, you get the bourbon vanilla that adds a little bit more of a strong masculine vanilla sweetness to it, if that makes sense. It's a little bit more dense, a little bit more rich. Definitely date night approved. The antithesis of a date night fragrance will be this one, guys. Again, it does border unisex. Ladies, you can wear this too, but fellas, if you're trying to turn heads, trying to get her to notice you, definitely check this one out. Liquid Brun by French Avenue. Man, this one actually gets a spray tonight. Whew. Whew. By the way, it is a strong fragrance, guys. There were talks about reformulations, but again, it is a strong fragrance. If your bottle isn't performing well, just give it some time to macerate. I've had this for roughly about 2 to 3 months, and it's come along very nicely. Again, powerful. You get pretty good projection longevity on this one. The cardamom, the orange blossom, the bourbon vanilla, those are the main thing that stands out here. The cinnamon as well. Don't forget the cinnamon and the sweet kind of caramel praline type of vibe. Even like a slight chocolatey type of vibe. And also when I think about it, a slight touch of a tobacco leaf as well. But again, a well-rounded fragrance, one that you're not gonna be disappointed with. Price points have come down now. These were about $50 before. Luckily I got mine for about $35 off Fragrance Buy when they had a little, I think it was Boxing Day. But again, you can find this for a really good price. Check it out if you can. Number 2 on the list, again, is Liquid Brun by French Avenue. All right, so number 1 on my list, you guys made it to number 1. You might be surprised, but you may not be surprised, right? I myself, I really enjoy wearing this fragrance, especially in the wintertime. It's one that I usually can't wait to reach for, and I might need a backup bottle soon. Number 1 on my list is gonna be Lattafa Asad, right? Another fragrance from the house of Lattafa. This one is a clone or inspiration of Dior Sauvage Elixir. Sauvage Elixir is a niche fragrance in a designer bottle. Let's just call it what it is. That one set the mold for elixirs and it did an amazing job. This one takes that Dior Sauvage Elixir fragrance and it makes it a little bit more wearable. Dior Sauvage Elixir was a little bit too potent, believe it or not. A little bit too potent, a little bit too strong. This one dials it back a few notches and it gives you a little bit more vanilla, which makes it a little bit more wearable, a little bit more sexy, and a little bit more pleasing to the opposite sex. All right, let's just put it like that. But man, guys, this stuff smells amazing. I want to spray this one on skin. I'm enjoying it that much. So again, great performance, great longevity. You get that cardamom, spicy type of vibe. You get the cinnamon. You get a little bit of lavender here, adding a slightly floral touch to it. There is patchouli. You get like a slightly vetiver type of vibe. But I want to say what stands out with your Sauvage Elixir in this one, there's a slight licorice note to it, all right? Now, I know most people don't like the taste of the black licorice, but this one actually smells good on skin. When you're not digesting it and you're just smelling it, mixed with those other notes I mentioned before, this one is actually nicely blended. It's manly, it's sophisticated, and it stands out. It's just different from what I ever smell when I'm around other people. So check this one out. Really good price point, especially now, roughly about $20, $25 for this one. When this one first came out, again, price point was definitely up there. But that's why I'm saying I might cop another bottle, because you can't tell where the juice is. It's an all black bottle, right? You can't, even if you hold it up to the light, you can't tell what your juice amount is. But I know for the price point and how good this smells, I want this in my collection all the time. So this one is backup bottle worthy. It is one that's going to garner you compliments. It is date night safe. It is office wearable. Just don't go too heavy on the spray. Yeah. Good for a lot of different occasions. Dressed up, dressed down, you can make this one work. Black jacket, leather jacket, you can make this one work. Spring, maybe. Fall for sure. Summertime, definitely not, all right? So guys, that's gonna be my list of my top 10 clone fragrances for the winter. Hope you guys did enjoy the list. If you did, definitely drop a like on this video. Let me know from this collection what you liked, what you plan on picking up, what I got wrong, or what you would actually include in the list, all right? With that being said, I hope you guys are staying safe, staying blessed, and of course, smelling good. See you in the next one. Peace.